everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Beanersnitchzel and I'm super excited to kick off this journey with my very first video. Now I put a lot of thought into what I wanted to do for my first video and I decided what better way to set the tone of my channel than by building Steve's lava chicken shack from the Minecraft movie. And this thing is not just going to be for looks either, because when we're done it's going to be the most awesome early game chicken farm and lava cooker you've ever set your eyes on.
Coming at ya!
Let's start with a quick preview of how this thing is going to work. We're going to walk over here and flip this lever, then the pistons will retract just like they do in the movie and lava drops down to cook our chicken, which will then land straight into our double chest below. From there, we'll hit this button on the front counter and boom, the chicken is served right to you fresh from the cooker. And boy, is it a crispy, juicy, super spicy lava attack. Oh yeah. Now for our first step of this build, we are going to dig a 9x15 hole. Inside of that, outline a 9x7 area with oak logs and fill it in with stone bricks. For the back half of our hole, we're going to outline it with the oak logs again, but make sure to fill it in with regular stone this time, so we know that this is the back part of our build. This area is where our redstone magic will happen later on, but for now, we're going to focus on the front. Moving on to step 2, we are going to use stripped oak logs, red terracotta, and acacia planks to make the front frame of our shack. Then we will use stone, glass, and 2 chests to make the back wall. Now for a side tip, if you're still early game and don't have red terracotta yet, don't worry boo-boo, I got you. All you gotta do is swap it out for stripped acacia logs or the solid acacia wood blocks as a replacement and you are good to go. For step 3, it's time to put a ceiling on our shop, and for that we will be using oak planks and red acacia stairs. Then we're going to add the iconic red and white wool banner above the shack, as you can see, and it's already coming together real nice.
I like it a lot.
Now for a lot of new players, the roofs are usually the most intimidating part of the build, but I'm going to show you just how easy it can be. And if you've never heard this before, then let me be the first to tell you that I believe in you and you totally got this. So let's make this awesome roof together. Now as you can see here, we are going to use red terracotta to make the frame of our roof and then just fill it in and put a platform on the top where our chicken mascot is going to go in our next step. Now it's time to make our chicken mascot, and for that we will be using yellow wool for the feet and legs, white wool for the body and head, and then red, yellow, and black wool for the face of the chicken. After we're done with our giant chicken, we're going to use glass panes for our rooftop windows, but make sure to leave the back side of the roof open for now. It's time to get into the fun stuff, so let's start by setting up the back part of our build, which will become our automatic chicken farm and lava cooker. Now I know some people are intimidated by redstone and all the different contraptions like pistons and hoppers, but I'm going to make this super simple and explain everything along the way, so don't worry. Start by putting down 2 hoppers pointing into our double chest with 2 dispensers behind them on stone blocks. Then we are going to place our pistons above the hoppers and in front of the dispensers just like this. And once we're done with that, we're going to use stripped oak logs and stone to fill in this area. It's redstone time, so let's start by breaking this block behind the dispenser and making a trail of redstone that leads around to this contraption, which apparently is called a redstone torch ladder. After we got this set up, we will make a redstone trail connecting the pistons and make sure you put the redstone repeaters in the exact same positions as me to ensure the pistons work properly. Then we're going to continue our redstone trail around the front to a lever that we can use to activate our lava cooker just like in the movie. Once you got that done, we're going to come back around to the dispensers and make a tower of hoppers and then fill it in around the sides with stone blocks. Now if you're still early game in your world and your iron funds might be struggling a bit, then you can cut some corners and replace the 2 hoppers above the left dispenser with stone, because technically they're not going to be active in the build, but it definitely won't look as good in the final product, so I highly recommend doing it just like me in this video if you have the iron to spare. Once the back of your build looks like this, let's go ahead and wall off this entire area because our redstone portion of the tutorial is basically done. For our walls, we will be using stripped oak logs and red terracotta, and then we will use oak planks and acacia stairs for the ceiling and overhang before we finish it off with red acacia fences and stairs to complete our rooftop balcony. Next up, we are going to make a trail of hoppers towards this block right here, which is the center of our rooftop. And this will be important in just a moment, so make sure you do this just like I do. Once you finish putting in our hopper trail, it's time to make the chicken cage. For this, we will be knocking out the center block of our rooftop and making a cage of glass around our final hopper, just like this. Now it's time to add our chickens. Climb on top of the roof and throw eggs into the hole we just made until you get a bunch of chickens. If you don't have a lot of eggs, you can use seeds to breed the chickens, but the more chickens, the better, so make sure you got a bunch of them before you close up the roof. Now that we've added our chickens, let's close off our glass cage and it's time to bring the heat. First, we will need to go to the back wall inside our shop and break the top row of glass temporarily so we can drop lava into the chamber above the pistons. Then we need to quickly close the hole back up with the glass blocks. It's important to emphasize that you cannot use glass panes during this part because lava will flow right through it. And if that happens, it will burn your whole shop down to the ground and you're all the way back at square one. So we don't want that, right? Yeah, let's not do that. At this point, our lava chicken farm is technically done, but our shop is still looking a little empty, so let's fill it in and make it look nice and complete. First, we are going to add a villager here to watch over our shop while we are away on vacation. In order to do that, we'll start by putting down some stone brick slabs like this and then drop a track with the minecart in it. Now we just need to get ourselves a villager and lure him into our minecart. Unfortunately, this is not always as easy as it sounds.
Hours later.
And finally, we got ourselves a villager. Next, we are going to need to place 3 temporary blocks on our wall just like this and cycle through the paintings until we find this one right here. Now let's add a smoker with a lantern on top of it in this corner, and then we'll put some barrels with small pots on top of them over here in this corner. Then we'll use oak planks to fill in the ceiling of our shop and wrap it all up by adding a dispenser behind the front counter facing up with the button in front of it just like this. Once we get some cooked chicken from our farm, we can fill this up and then booyah! Now I know that in the movie, the chicken dropped out of the ceiling, but to be honest, I couldn't figure out a way to set it up like that in the game without making our build completely ugly, so I just kind of settled for this option. Aww. But with that being said, if you use my tutorial to make your own build and you can figure out how to make the dispenser drop chicken from the top, I'd love to hear about it. Heck, let's make it a challenge. Whoever figures it out first will get a shout out on my channel, plus I'll even post a screenshot of your build on my next video if you want. Alright everyone, that's going to wrap it up for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed my first video, and if you did, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to my channel for more awesome content like this. If you have any suggestions for future videos, I'd love to hear them, so drop them in the comments. Once again, my name is Beanersnitchzel, and I'll see you next time. Good gaming and good night.